The Ministry of Trade prepares to negotiate bilateral trade agreements. Bouyon Monarch joins the Carnival calendar, and the Carnival Sunshine makes its first trip to Dominica. Thank you for joining us on another edition of National Focus. I'm Jarna, Hector.
And I'm Kimani. Stay with us for details of these and other stories after the break.
Introducing the Government of Dominica Internal Directory mobile app, available for download from the Google Play Store, One Mobile Market, and the Government of Dominica's website. Access to all ministries and sub-departments' phone, email and office addresses and websites. Simply select a ministry and the sub-department. You can dial directly from the app or save the numbers to your phone contacts. It's convenience at your fingertips.
Is my passport ready for pickup? Good. It really works.
Download the Government of Dominica Internal Directory mobile app today.
Thanks for staying with us. The Labour Party administration continues to make Dominica even more conducive for investing. Recently, government passed the Alien Landholding Regulation Amendment Act of 2015 in Parliament. This amendment allows for potential investors wishing to purchase land to pay a fixed rate on the transfer of lands as opposed to a percentage of the value. The Honourable Minister for Planning, Economic Development and Investment says this new legislation will be strictly monitored.
Presently, you're required by the Act to pay 10% of the cost price of the land. Now, we found that was prohibitive to our developers or investors coming to Dominica. When you look at 10% of a large portion of land or land that's costing a lot of money, it's prohibitive. So we wanted to make a more enabling type of environment, make it more favorable for our investors. So we have gone into Parliament yesterday where we passed amendments to this regulation where we're saying to come when a developer comes to Dominica, he'll pay a flat fee of $6,000, and then that will allow him to purchase his land, transfer his land, whatever he has to do there. He'll only pay $6,000. Now the question will be asked, how are we going to protect against speculators? Of course, there are people who come under the pretense of that opportunity to purchase land, but no. There are a number of checkpoints that exist in the old regulation, in the old act, but we have strengthened them in that it must be an approved development, meaning it must be part of the real estate type developments under CBI programs, under hotel type development. It has to be approved by cabinet.
He says approval would also have to be given by the planning division. Additionally, potential investors will be given a time frame within which to build and will be charged a fee if this stipulation is violated. Honourable McIntyre also says if the property is not developed, it will be reclaimed by government.
The Ministry of Trade has embarked on a mission to significantly improve Dominica's chances within the services market of the OECS Economic Union. From November 30th to December 2nd, the OECS Commission partnered with the International Trade Center to provide technical assistance to OECS protocol member states to explore options for bilateral negotiations in the area of services. GIS News spoke with the Director of Trade, Martha Walter, who revealed that this consultancy stemmed from the primary use of the positive list approach for negotiations within OECS member states.
The positive list approach comes from the GATS, or the General Agreement on Trading Services, which is a WTO agreement. And what it basically allows countries who are member states to do is to list all the sectors that they are willing to liberalize. So it would list, for example, our telecommunication sector, our hotel sector, our restaurant sector, our sporting sector, all the areas that we would want to liberalize or to allow market access to foreign firms in those particular areas. They would be listed, and on that ground we would indicate whether we're allowing market access or national treatment in those particular areas. And this is what we used for the longest while until we began the negotiations with the Canadians, the CARICOM-Canada negotiations.
The Director of Trade stated that the insistence of the use of the negative list approach contributed to the termination of the Canadian negotiations.
So the OECS had to brace itself and to prepare itself for now, one, re-engagement with the Canadians in the CARICOM-Canada negotiations, now that, you know, there's a new government in place, and also to get with it. There are countries within the EU that engage in the negative list approach. You have Canada has negotiated, and the United States of America has also negotiated using that type of approach. So the OECS decided that we need to build the capacity of our own member states in being able to engage this particular services modality.
Dr. Natasha Ward, international consultant attached to the International Trade Center, was facilitator of the national consultancy. Walter notes that the event was quite effective.
We were able to understand or to realize that there were certain gaps, gaps in regulation that we would need to fill in. And we also trying to ensure and trying to ensure and explore whether moving in that direction, that is negotiating using a different means, a different way, is prudent and beneficial, not just to Dominica, but to the OECS as a sub-region.
The Director of Trade believes that the consultancy will go a long way in assisting Dominica in future bilateral trade negotiations.
If you do not have a solid regulatory framework, services regulatory framework, you're going to have a problem in being able to engage or use that particular modality. But the point is that the world is moving in that direction. The world is realizing that when we use the positive list approach, there are not enough services sector offers being made in the context of negotiation. So you have a more protectionist approach to services negotiations than using the negative list approach, where you have to indicate why didn't you use that. If you cannot be able to justify that, then you have a little bit of a difficulty. So all in all, the consultation will allow us to know what our capacity is for engaging that type of services modality in future bilateral negotiations.
Very interesting, Jarna, and very good that in the Caribbean, or I would say in the Economic Union, and in Dominica, essentially, we're building capacity in negotiating that way.
The way I see this story is like strengthening parts of a whole, because while this training, this consultancy is benefiting Dominica and Dominicans, it is also benefiting Dominica as part of the economic union, and so this will strengthen us as a region, as a union, to negotiate with larger and developed states.
Yeah, that's true, and we must make clear that trading of services, we're talking about things that are intangible commodities, like in the financial sector, financial services. We're talking about tourism, we're talking about law, all these services that we can trade, intangible commodities.
Right. I'm thinking that by adopting this new approach to focus on the negative list, we get to draw attention to the things that we may not have focused so much on before.
Definitely.
And by doing that, we may be able to fill in the loopholes and build up where we were probably going wrong. And by so doing, expand the services that we may be able to offer just by focusing on what we did not have to offer before.
That's true. That's exactly true. Because if we only focus on what we were able to offer, it means we'll never take a look at the things that, you know, we have opportunities to offer. So yeah.
Meantime, the director gave an update on the Consumer Protection Bill as the Division of Trade continues to put a legislative framework in place for consumer protection.
We are still in the process of receiving comments from the private sector. Actually, we have a meeting with the DIC planned for this week, where we are going to discuss some of their concerns. So that is really where we are. Otherwise, we have, as I maybe stated in another interview, we have gotten approval for a CDB project to be able to really speed up the implementation of the bills and also the framework for consumer protection in Dominica.
The bill will address the establishment of a Consumer Affairs Commission, consumer rights, duties of suppliers, unfair trading practices, consumer safety, recall of goods and distance selling, the establishment of a rapid alert system and consumer agreements, among others.
In more news, the Carnival Sunshine made its first call to Dominica on Saturday, December 5th. The Honorable Minister for Tourism, Senator Robert Tong, and other officials from the Ministry of Tourism were delighted to officially welcome the ship and Carnival Cruise Line back to the island. In his remarks at the welcome ceremony, the Honorable Minister for Tourism informed that government and other tourism stakeholders continue to work together to ensure that visitors enjoy the true Dominica experience.
We welcome you in a very big way, and we look forward to Carnival Cruise Lines coming to Dominica on a more frequent basis. The government of Dominica sees this as a very important venture, and we are listening as much as possible to what you have to say, to what your cruisers have to say, so that we can make the necessary changes to ensure that the experience that they receive is a great one. Because it's not about just sitting on the beach anymore. It's about immersing yourself in the nature, immersing yourself in the culture of the country, so that you can, when you go back, you truly have a story to tell.
Chief Executive Officer of the Dominica Air and Seaport Authority, Benoit Badwell, described Dominica's relationship with Carnival as a marriage. He too expressed elation over the line's return to the island.
I can say we've treasured the island over the years in the sense that we've made it special. We have developed the island in a number of ways to accommodate the passengers, but we have treated that which is special. We've maintained it over the years. And truly, we are the nature island of the Caribbean.
Kira Thompson Ed represented ship's agent, Richard Travels.
Richard, as ship's agent, is always happy when Carnival Cruise Lines calls, because Carnival, as you mentioned, MV Festival, you were on board the MV Festival originally, and it is because of the MV Festival coming here in May 1989 with Captain Castanino that our cruise tourism industry really got a kickoff because of Carnival. Wherever Carnival went, everybody wanted to go. So it's always a pleasure to welcome any of the Carnival lines. We're happy to see the increase in the number of calls as ship's agent, and we look forward to the continued partnership with Carnival Cruise Lines and our tourism sector.
This wasn't the captain's first trip to Dominica. Captain Salvatore Messina reminisced.
30 years ago, I was here on the festival when we came here. So, and the last time I was here, I was with the Victory, and then. You know, like we move around, but I love this place. You know, I had the opportunity to meet Mr. Liverpool, as I already told you, the president of the island. He used to come and cruise with us here on board. We do have a crew members here on board from Dominica, and they, you know, today they will love, you know, to be here and go home and see the family. So, and we have a crew member from all over the islands here. It's a good change for us, so, and this is a good change for Carnival, you know, for you guys here. So you see Carnival back here on board.
As is customary, plaques and tokens were exchanged to commemorate the event. Carnival Sunshine has a guest capacity of about 3,000 and 1,000 crew. The ship moved on to St. Lucia following its visit to Dominica. You're watching National Focus. More when we return.
Welcome back. A new competition has joined the Carnival calendar of events. The Bouyon Monarch competition, the first of its kind, is aimed at improving and promoting Dominica's original song, the Bouyon. Speaking at the launching of Mass Dominic 2016, one of the organizers explains.
The Bouyon Monarch, not to be confused with Band Splash, will We'll see 15 contestants vie for a chance to win over $21,000 in cash and prizes. The purpose of the Bouyon Monarch is not to replace any Bouyon styles that are currently in our musical environment right now. We're not trying to replace anybody. I know people who are my age and a bit older can remember days of a different kind of Bouyon. The people here, the younger generation, has their own style of Bouyon. And we're not trying to replace anything. What we are trying to do, however, is add depth to already dynamic genre. And we're hoping that with the use of guidelines, that we can actually create a product that can be sustainable, a product that can be international and sold throughout the world, putting Dominica on the map.
Francis made a plea for more solo Bouyon artists to participate in the event. Bouyon Monarch is carded for January 29, 2016.
As the White Kubuli Dance Theatre Company celebrates 45 years in January 2016, the organization is also preparing to host the 39th edition of the Miss Teen Dominica pageant. The pageant will be held under the theme Celebrating the Dream. This theme will also carry the White Kubuli Dance Theatre Company through its 45th anniversary celebrations. 7 contestants from 7 secondary schools across Dominica will vie for the title of Miss Teen Dominica 2016.
From the Portsmouth Secondary School, we have Tiffany Elwa. From the Convent High School, we have Tatiana Dangleben. The Dominica Grammar School will be represented by Imelda Boston, while the Goodwill Secondary School will be represented by Marcella Green. The contestant from the St. Martin Secondary School is Lisa Samuel, and the contestant from the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School is Nadej Barber. And finally, the Pierre Charles Secondary School will be represented by Natora Francis.
The pageant is carded for Sunday, January 31st, 2016 at Carnival City. The Rotaract Club of Roseau is also celebrating a milestone, 30 years as an organization and almost 30 years of presenting the Carnival Princess Show. 6 participants from primary schools across the island will participate in the event, carded for Sunday, January 24th at the Harlem Plaza in Newtown. Another feature pageant of the festive season is the Carnival Mother's Queen pageant, which is slated for January 30th at the Arak House of Culture. Mass Jamboree, a pageant organized by the Dominica State College, is also on this season. The competition is carded for February 4th, 2016. And that's the English segment of the news. McPherson St. Luce is next with Creole Highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson St. Louis. Premièrement, ministre agriculture emporté plan figue en pays là, car il est tout boué par habitants. Parole ça là sorti au ministère agriculture, Honorable Johnson Drago. Si l'homme ministre Drago, monsieur qui a mis en place pour vivre mettre l'industrie là de bout.
Et bien, comme ça, nous ne pouvons dire, dans les santé, bon, nous te point, d'accès tout cas, nous belle volée. Mais nous mettons ensemble, avec le gouvernement, ensemble, et puis bam, nous avons 40 000 plans figues, fouet plans figues pays. Pour le moment, nous avons planté 23 000 plans figues à pays Dominique. Et bien, ces plans figues, ça va faire bien. So, l'année prochaine, nous l'année 15, l'année prochaine, nous allons faire bien en affaire figues en pays Dominique. Nous avons vu 20 figues à la place là. À Londres, et bien nous qui ça tous ces petits pays à KSP, Figo Dominique, Antigua et puis Saint Martin et puis Saint Kitts, nous qui ça voyez plus figue par ces pays ça dans les prochains.
En une nouvelle, le ministère de l'Éducation établit un conseil qui a une responsabilité pour le programme Tibet. Parole ça là sorti du ministère de l'Éducation, Honorable Peter Saint-Jean.
Quand nous en savons, jour des jours tout en la terre. Moun qui travaille en différentes qualités l'État est nécessaire pour yo ni ça nous en l'État à skill et pour raison ça là nous avons développé, ça nous avons créé TVET, ça c'est Technical Vocational Education and Training. Là, nous avons éduqué moun en l'état et aussi nous avons retraîné les gens qui travaillent en différentes places. Puisque nous avons pour nous développer pays nous, il est nécessaire pour nous ni c'est l'état ça yo. Et présentement, nous ni ça nous avons créé TVET Council, nous établi un council qui est en charge TVET en Dominique. Nous ni ça nous avons créé un secrétariat en bureau, en office et yo responsable pour le développement TVET l'état en Dominique.
On a une nouvelle, un projet électricité solaire, ça c'est pour faire et puis ça fait soleil, comme marché en pays Kalinago. Parole ça là sorti au même parlement, honorable Cassius Darrow.
Courant qui a sorti hot femme là, yo kay voyer ce grid dom like hot grid dom like c'est moun yo qui bénéficier par ça directly. Et pour moi c'est vraiment un plaisir parce que nous savons ça qu'a fait actuellement bagaille ça fait climate change. Nous ni latin le monde qui souffert mais ça nous a fait Kalinago territory c'est pour développer renewable energy avec ça moi vraiment dit son bon butin pour nous nous ni 5-6 qui a fait ça possible pour nous s'attaquer solar energy
et puis finalement ministre agriculture tapé en goué hot lot pays parole ça là sorti votre permanent secrétaire ministre là Mr. Harold Gist fait parole qui a déjà distribué par habitants pendant d'autres qui tapent après.
Après ça, initial pour habitants pour mettre en plan, nous avons celle pour figues et nous avons banane. Celle-là c'est un premier set celle pour c'est mon qui a trouvé tissue culture plants. Avec nous avons distribué ça déjà. Il y a l'autre set qui vient du Kingdom of Morocco, ça nous pour distribuer aussi. Avec nous avons l'autre set, un troisième set celle qui a commencé à venir en bam pour figuer les bananes. Avec ça, depuis clair à l'époque là, nous avons distribué pour farmers. Comme ça. Ça sont belles nouvelles. Esprit à présent qu'on appelle qu'à tomber ça en mêlée pour ça fixer et manger celle. Comme ça, nous respectons ça qui travaille bien pour nous.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelles en créole pour à présent. Moi c'est McPherson and Luce. Au revoir.
Coming up next, 2 uses of Coca-Cola. You can use Coca-Cola as a pain neutralizer. If you have been bitten by a bug or stung by a bee, just pour some of the drink on the affected area and your pain will be neutralized in seconds.
Or for blackened pots, pour some Coca-Cola into them and let it sit for a few minutes. The chemicals in the drink will fight the grime and loosen it. Then you can easily scrub it out and your pots will be clean and shiny again. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and your comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm.
Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow us on Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I'm Kimani
and I'm Jarna Hector. Thanks for watching and join us again next time on National Focus.